Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And just want to quickly congratulate someone. Rob, congratulations for getting your first deal or your next deal, one of the 500 students to get a deal. I will be putting your postcard in the mail shortly. Sorry, Rob, I didn't do this morning. I forgot, didn't do it, but now we have done it. As we get started in this particular video, I want to talk about 5 factors I learned while studying 50 years of housing data. If you don't know, on Saturday morning, I released a video called 50 Years of Housing, Wages, and Affordability Data. In that presentation, we went through year by year from 1970 to 2020. That spreadsheet has a lot of information in it. I have been spending the last 2 or 3 days trying to extract the surprises, the lessons learned, and the things that I want to share with you. And what I have for you today are 5 surprising factors. We'll go backwards. We'll go number 5 first. So number 5, high price and affordability don't go hand in hand. If you're talking about real estate and you're pointing at price, you are missing the most important thing, and that is payment. For example, the least affordable year to own housing was 1982. 1982, it took 47% of your gross monthly income to buy a house. That, folks, is unaffordable. None of us are getting a loan from a bank when we have to spend 47% of our gross take-home pay on a mortgage payment. It is flat out unaffordable. But guess what an average house cost in 1982? 1982, the average house in America, this is national numbers, was $60,000. 60 grand, 1982. Again, took 47% of your income, gross monthly income, to make a payment. Now, flip the script. If 1982 was the least affordable with 46% of your income, what year was the most affordable? Well, surprising, the most affordable market to buy a house, again based on median income and payment, was 2020. In 2020, because rates were low and incomes were up, it only took 16% of your gross income to afford the average payment at the average interest rate, which, oh, by the way, was 3%. Now, if the average house in 1982 cost 60 grand, in 2020, it costs 270 grand. So again, when any channel talks price and price alone, you can now stop watching them, because it's a combination of price, interest rates, wages, and payment. Payment is the thing to watch. People forget that wages are going up. Number 4, right? We're doing backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 4, houses. The average house in 1970 to 2020, guess how many times it went up? The average house from 1970 to 2020 went up 11.2 times. It's not bad, 11.2 times. But remember, price is only part of the equation. Guess how much wages went up? Wages. Wages went up 8.98 times. Round that to 9 times. So our housing prices went up 11.2, wages went up almost 9 times. I've asked many people to estimate this. Most people think housing went up 20 times and wages went up 5 times. That is flat out incorrect. Housing since 1970 went up 11 times and wages went up 9 times. And again, folks, I have a video called 50 Years of Housing, Wages, and Affordability Data. You can go back and find that video on my channel. When I get back inside and off this live stream, I will fix it or pin it as a first comment. So if you wanted to watch that video and see all 50 years of data, you could check it out. Number 3, in 50 years of housing, guess how many years were negative? How many times housing fell? Ooh, it got kind of dark. Let's move me over here. How about that? So guess how much housing fell. That's still too dark. Let's move. I don't know. The sun is bright in California. What can I tell you? Actually, you know what? Let me pick this up. I'm sorry, folks. Here we go. Let's get in the shade. Okay, I got my notes here. So number 3, guess how many times housing was negative from 1970 to 2020? The answer is 5 years. Housing was negative 2008, 2009, 2010, and 2011, and also 1991. Who knew? I did not know housing was negative in 1991. But out of 50 years, housing went negative 5 times. That means 45 years, housing was positive. Housing went up. Number 2, everybody wants to talk housing crash. It is probably one of the most clickbaity titles out there. Lots of people are talking about housing crash of 10, 20, 30, 40%. The largest single year decline in 50 years was negative 8.9%. Housing moves slowly. Housing is not like stocks, not like crypto. In the worst part of the Great Recession, housing was down only 8.9%. Lots of people think housing was down 30, 40%. It was, but it was over 4 or 5 years. Housing does not collapse like many people talk about. And perhaps the number one thing I learned from my 50 years of research, wage growth. Wage growth keys real estate. I did not know that. Wage growth, for example, fell in 2006 and 7, meaning it was negative. Housing fell 2008, 2009. Wages were up 19 to 74 or 75 and 76. Housing was up 76, 77, 78. The largest, like wages went up 20%. When you think about it, that makes sense. We're a consumer-based economy. Housing is debt-based, meaning you borrow 80, 90, or even 96.5%. So it probably makes sense that when income rises, you can buy more houses. So what do we do with this data? I am going to be watching wages. If you've been following my daily financial news, you know that I believe wage inflation has just started. If wage inflation has just started like 1976 and 1977, housing could see some good years, especially if interest rates stay where they are or even fall. Many people think interest rates on the 30-year will go down. If interest rates on the 30-year go down, wages go up. We get a 40-year mortgage, we get 15-year tax or 15K tax credit from the government. What do you think happens to housing? It's crazy to think about. So again, housing is not about price, it's about affordability. Housing increases are about wages. Watch interest rates, watch payments. And remember, out of 50 years, housing only went negative 5 years, and 4 of those were during the Great Recession. All right, everybody, let me know if you watched that video. Again, I will go pin it to this video. Let me know what you learned, what you thought, and what you followed. Bye.